Learning the Sfas Emes Re 631. Sfas Emes wrote 631, 5,631. He brings down from his Adoni Ovi Zikni, meaning my master, my father, my grandfather, my reign of Rabbeinu. He's talking about the Chidushei stated. Parsha Re'eh we find. Re'eh anochi noisen lefnechem. Behold, I place before you that there is nikba, there is established in every Jew that he should be able to understand and to choose only brocha. And then it says a klola, but you have the choice to choose brocha. That's why we say every day the brocha, he who gives us understanding. Literal translation could also be, even the rooster has the comprehension to differentiate between night and day. This is the ability of giving Lasech Vino. So too the Medrash says HaKadosh Baruch Hu teaches us in a way. Chassidim always translate what it says, and you shall choose, not only as a statement that you should do so, a request, but the fact that you will do so. And every statement of Hashem is done in this fashion, and a true person can choose because we have the ability of choice. Getting back to Hanois and Sech Vino, it's interesting when the Sfas Emes when the Sfas Emes was Nifter and his son, the Imre Emes, succeeded him as Rebbe, Zatzal, he was approached by a Kotzker Chosed. The Kotzker was the direct line went from the Choiz of Lublin to the Yudi HaKodesh to the Pshischa to the Kotzker, and then Ger began with the Chidushei. There was an interim of 4 years between the Chidushei's passing and the Sfas Emes becoming Rebbe, and at that point he was given a kvittel. The Sfas Emes, when he was Nifter, the Imre Emes, his son, became Rebbe, and he was given a kvittel from a Kotzker Chosed, who had still survived till then, and he looked at it. It's a famous kvittel. They still have a recording of it or a copy of it. He said, I look into this kvittel like a chicken when we do kaporas looks into what we're saying in the siddur, B'nei Odom Yoshvi Choshev Tzalmovis, the people who reside in this dark world. And the Kotzker Chosed said at that point, with great joy, he said, Baruch Hashem Hanoisin Lasech Vivino. Blessed is Hashem who gives chickens or roosters the ability to comprehend. He was alluding to the fact that in a sense the Rebbe would be given that understanding just as the rooster is giving that understanding. So here the Sfas Emes is using this concept of understanding, and knowing that we have to choose. We have to choose. He cites a Medrash that the Medrash says we're not supposed to stop during the reading of the Klolis, even if there are simchas, Baruch Hashem, there are many simchas, and there are times when you have to give a lot of people aliyahs. You don't stop and make a break in the section of the Torah that has to do with bad things, curses that could be interpreted as curses, because as we'll see, let's take a look at the Medrash. The Medrash says, and it's interesting that in the Medrash we learn things that we learn in halacha. Here's halacha. Halacha. A person of Israel, are you allowed to read the Torah with many people going up to the Torah? So learned the Chachamim. You do not stop in the Klolis. One person reads the entire thing. Our rabbis taught us. Why can't you stop? It's all Torah. What's the difference? Amar Abchia bar Gamdo. Abchia bar Gamdo explained. It says in Mishlei, Musa Hashem b'ni altimos. Musa of Hashem, do not be disgruntled from it, do not be upset with it, but learn it. Do not find that his admonishments are too great, Al tas is Hatorah koitzen. He learns Val tikoitz tokuts the Torah of that you shouldn't make it short and brief, like thorns separate. The echad kura is kulam. One reads the entire Torah. Another reason, why don't you stop at klolis? And why can't you give more than one person aliyah when you have the portion of klolis? Amay Yeshua, the Sachinim. Yeshua came from the Sachnin, B'Shem of Levi. Amay Kodesh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I wrote on Kvodi and Tillim, Imoy Anoichi B'Tzorah. When I am with you, Imoy. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I am with him when he has troubles with Klal Yisrael. Meaning, therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu finds himself whenever Klal Yisrael is in torment, also in torment. Kivyoch. Ein shuras hadin. It's not correct. It's not appropriate. That my children should be cursed, and I should be blessed. What does that mean? If you'll divide up the Torah among many different people, so then every time somebody gets up to read, he makes a bracha twice to Hashem Yisborach, thanking him for giving us the Torah before the reading and afterwards. But rather, one reads all of it. Normally, the Chacham say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, Lo asem nosati lahem brochos v'klolos. Not for to cause you trouble did I give you blessings and curses, but just to let you know, what's a good way that a person should choose in order that he should receive reward. How do I know that? Because we learn it from the beginning of Re. I'm giving it to you to help you overcome your temptations and your desires. We'll go back to the Sfas Emes. So he recites this medrash, and we should not make it into thorns. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't want them to be curses. Just that a person should be fearful, and he'll make from it brocha, as the Baditchev Rav Zatzal said. Ultimately, we'll see that all the Torahos, when Mashiach will come, will be and were brochas. So we find the Zohar, she is suran l'odom, that loyalenu, when a person has pain, when he receives them with joy, and he returns to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because he's of the opinion that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did with him chesed, through that he comes to return. Thus, he makes them tormentations of ahava, pain of joy. That's why he says, Noisid of Nechem. I'm just thinking out loud. But you find when a person laughs, if he laughs very, very hard, he also has pain. And that's a pain that he enjoys. Maybe we shouldn't have to come out to Yisurim. We ask him, Kodesh Baruch Hu, not through Yisurim, but that's what it means, maybe. Yisurim shel ahava. The person feels a pain, but he has the joy that he's connected to Hashem because of it. I give you Livnechem, brocha, blessing, and klolo, that even the curse can be utilized by man to be brocha. That's why it says one should not stop and separate. The klolo is separate, but everything is HaKadosh Baruch Hu for good. Cites another medrash, the Sfas Emes. Ner mitzvah. Nercha biyodi, neri biyodcha. Look at this medrash. The Medrash says, what does it say? If you keep the Torah, what's it called? A mitzvah azois. When it says mitzvah azois, what does it mean? All of this mitzvah. This is Kriya Shema. The Chacham say this is Shabbos, which has the ability of being equal to all the mitzvahs in the Torah. Another explanation is that Im Shomer Tishmorun, if you will keep Torah, I will keep you. Omar Bakapora. The soul and Torah are like a light of the soul. As it says, Ner Hashem, the light of Hashem is the soul of man. And by the Torah it says, Ner is mitzvah and Torah is or. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to man, My Ner biyodcha, v'nercha biyodi. Your light is in my hands, and my light is in your hands. Ner biyodcha, my candle is in your hands. This is Torah. V'nercha biyodi, this is the soul of man. Im shamalta es neri, if you will keep my candle, I will keep your candle. If you put it out, I will put out your candle. How do I know this? Because it says, meaning, if you will watch it, I will watch you. And we'll continue with this Sfas Emes. Sfas Emes therefore says, Ner mitzvah, ner chabiyodi, neri biyodcha. And everything, he explains, there is that point of life from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Just that in this world, it's very hidden. That's what a Jew has to do, to awaken and to make visible, apparent, the pnimius that there is in everything through mitzvahs. That every action we find of HaKadosh Baruch Hu a positive commandment or a negative commandment. And through that mitzvah, we can bring all of our actions to be associated with Hashem. That's Neri B'Yodcha. My candle to illuminate the world is in your hands, and we have to use Torah to do that. We have to illuminate that innermost point which is hidden within us. It's as if it's entrapped until a person is able to overcome his desires and enlighten the darkness within which he dwells. This point is the bracha itself. That in itself is the bracha, that you will listen and you will attach yourself to this point. That's found in everything. Then you will see its bracha. Anything that happens is bracha. That's Re'eh. Meaning, if you look and concentrate and comprehend, you will see this point. So too Shabbos it says, Vayvorach Alikim Yom HaShvi. That's the whole concept of Shabbos is blessing. If we nullify ourselves and we associate ourselves with that point, there we have blessing. Chazal say that the best blessing ain't HaKadosh Baruch Hu Kli Machzik Baruch Yisrael Ela HaSholem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu did not find a vessel which holds blessing except for Sholem. That's the innermost point that creates the world, and that's called Sholem. As the Zohar says, Shleimus, completeness. When everything will be completeness, that's the bracha that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has granted us. May we merit singing it this year before it ends, before the new year. The completeness that Klal Yisrael does should bring about the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu b'meirav Yameinu. Amen.